Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to part 2 of your reading for mid-January 2022. We're going to jump right in here. This is part 1. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, it is linked up down below in the description, or actually in the top comment, so make sure to check that out. Your first oracle card is this creation card. It says it's a snake card, I should say, and it just says creation on it. You do have the Ace of Wands and the Empress here, so very creative energy. Tapping into creative energy would be very beneficial. I talk about this a lot. I'm sure people are sick of hearing it, but it's the main energy that we're dealing with. I would say if you're trying to get ahead in any area of your life, it's like creation. The creation side of things is going to be very beneficial. That's probably where you're going to get the most growth, abundance, whatever it is that you want, is by being creative or looking for creative solutions. It's like Neptune and Pisces is, I always say that we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is like the opposite of Hierophant energy, and it is the opposite of the King of Pentacles as well, which you have right here. These energies are doing what works, and there is nothing wrong with doing what works, by the way. I would continue to do what works, like in your business, in your job, in your relationship. Keep doing what works, but again, I would be testing or experimenting a certain percentage of the time. I would be trying something new a certain percentage of the time. It's like maybe, again, I like the 80-20 rule. It's like maybe 80% of the time you do what works, right? In your business, in your relationship. Then 20% of the time, I would be trying new things, trying new techniques, trying new tactics, and learning new things as well, because that's, again, where the benefits are going to come from. So, and there's a good mixture of energy here, by the way. You have the Emperor and the Empress. So, again, 80% of the time I would be very predictable with the Emperor. The other 20% of the time, which is your crossing energy, the Empress, I would be like creating new ways or looking at new ways to like spice anything up that you're doing. I'd be like spicing it up. With the Ace of Wands and the Five of Cups, you have the Moon, fear, and literally the card of innovation. I mean, the Moon represents a period after the full moon, and the period after the full moon is the best time for innovating. It is the best time for trying new things or doing things that you've never done before. So I would definitely, and again, it comes up with that Ace of Wands. It's like, I'm not making this stuff up here. I would definitely be trying something new in all areas of your life. And again, this is why we get stuck as people, is because we're not taught to like keep trying new things or to, and again, we don't need to be paranoid freaks either. As I always say, it's like, it's just, a little bit of effort goes a long way here. With the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Fool. Yeah, just do it. Major Fool energy for you Earth signs. Pretty much every single Earth sign reading that I've been doing for the past few weeks has been getting the Fool. The Fool, I think, just reminds us that we're like ready to go, that you're ready to take a leap of faith. And that's really what I feel for you. I'm not feeling any of the other like typical Fool energy. I'm just more feeling like it is saying you are ready for something. You are ready to take a leap of faith, as in you are fully prepared. There's like nothing else you necessarily need to do. With the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Isn't it funny that you are working on your own on this Eight of Pentacles? With the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords, I immediately, at the beginning of your first reading, I got something about like other people, working with other people, maybe some of the personnel conflicts you've had with people in your life. And yes, I am saying the word personnel, not the word personal. Two totally different words, right? So, what I would say here is there have been a lot of personnel conflicts with people in work, or people that you've worked with, or maybe people you've teamed up with. Eight of Pentacles, he's kind of like working on his own. He's mastering a craft. Here's the way that I would look at this, because you have the Eight of Pentacles twice. If you're working on a business or a career or something like that, the Eight of Pentacles would be coming up with a solid plan of how to do something. It's like if you're starting a business, it's like you should be, one of my favorite books of all time, The E-Myth, it says you should be able to take your business, put it into a binder. You should be able to take that, hand it to someone, and they should be able to duplicate your business very easily because you've done everything and you've put it into a binder. The reason you do this is so that you can duplicate yourself and, hire people. So I feel like that's kind of like what I feel with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like especially in work or business, you could be dumbing down, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I mean this in a good way. You could be making your process very, very simple. That could be very valuable to you. That could literally make you money. You could be expanding your business. There are other things you could be doing with this as well. It's like, I think that, in the future, our experiences are going to be extremely valuable. So it's like if you are getting yourself out of debt, if you're doing anything with your life, it doesn't matter if you're writing a book, if you're starting a business, if you're raising cats, or if you're raising goats, if you're raising lions, llamas. I don't care what you're doing. I do feel that this Eight of Pentacles is talking about documentation, like documenting your process. You never know how you could, you could start a YouTube channel. You could create a product or something. So there's a lot here about that. In your middle row here, you have the moon card. It says perception. You basically have the moon twice in your reading. This card is talking about your perception or how you perceive things. Remember what I said at the beginning of your first reading? Again, I was getting this energy of the Seven of Diamonds from the playing card reading system in your first row, which is about your perception. It is you perceiving your financial situation. The Seven of Diamonds in the playing card reading system can say that you could have like $10 million in the bank, but you could still be worrying about money. What does that have to do with perception? Well, it's like, maybe your perception is still of you not having money when you actually do. And I'm not saying this is money. I'm just using this as an example. It could be love. It's like maybe you get into a relationship, but your perception is still of an older relationship. There's definitely something here about needing to kind of like change your perception. Really need to just change your mindset. And I feel your last two cards here, the Nine of Swords and the Temperance card there, they really are saying, and I said this at the end of the last one, it's really saying to me that you're gonna have to work on this. You're gonna have to, it's gonna be one of those things where you have to think about what you're doing. You're probably gonna have to catch yourself, right? I still do this to this day, constantly. There are like a million things in my own life where I go back to stinking thinking, and I have to say, no, stop. And then I have to correct the thought, right? So I still do this, and I've been doing this for years. So we don't have to be perfect, number one, which is what I think is more important. I think sometimes people think for law of attraction you have to be perfect. Absolutely not. Trust me, I'm far from it. So we don't have to be perfect with our thoughts as long as we're kind of trending in the right direction. But I would just practice as well. It just takes practice, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, and here you go. I knew you were going to get a card like this. And the Chariot, this is coming up in your foundation. You have the Page of Pentacles. It's a card of studiousness and a card of learning. I would definitely be learning as much as you possibly can about whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Remember what we said in the first reading about maybe like 20% of the time, you should be testing new things in relationships, businesses, anything that you're doing with your life. I would be trying new things because that's where you're going to get the most benefits. Like I said, I like to encourage people to try new things at this time just because it's like, yeah, you're maybe 99% of the stuff you try isn't going to work. But when you find like one trick that works in your relationship, it's going to take it to the moon. When you find one trick in your business, it's going to make you go to Mars, right? So this is why I encourage people to keep trying. And it's like, yes, it's work. It's going to require some effort, but it's going to be worth it. With the Justice card and the Death card, you have the Hangman. Yeah, a lot of delays. I don't know, pretty much every single sign has had the Hangman. I do feel that there are just, Mercury retrograde. Do I need to say anything else? Probably not. I think they're just like the typical retrograde delays. I would just roll with the punches. I would just be like, it's a retrograde delay, and that's that. I've said to everybody else, and I'll say it to you. I think I did say this to you in one of your recent readings. The year really doesn't get going until like the middle of February. Kind of fits in well with actually the Chinese zodiac, where they start their year in the middle of February or somewhere around there. And so I feel like this year kind of really starts a little bit later. With the Ace of Cups and the Emperor, you have the High Priestess. A lot of Pisces energy here. I feel like in every single reading I do for you, you do get a lot of this Pisces type of energy. So could be a Pisces coming in for you. Could be any sign. If you're looking for love, really, I feel like it's saying trust your intuition. And again, there are a lot of mysteries here. Like I said, if you're experimenting in your life, that is a mystery because it's like you're going to have to find some answers. You're going to have to try and figure out how to take action, how to do things in your life. So it is kind of like a mystery. In your next row here, you have this Flag card. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. And you also have this Pale card. It says, time to get out of a situation. Five of Cups. Time to walk away from things that no longer serve you. And I feel like this flag is saying, don't lower your don't lower your standards, plain and simple. With the Magician and the Lovers, and then this is in the area of your next few months, you have the Nine of Cups. Definitely a wish or wish fulfillment coming in for you here, Taurus. So I do feel like this could just be wish fulfillment coming in. With the King of Pentacles and the Two Wands, you have the Emperor. Yeah, really, exactly what I was talking about in your first reading. It's all about you taking the lead. So I feel this is really you, like I said, taking the lead and having a plan. I feel like it would be better for you, like I was just saying, to kind of like dumb things down in a good way. I don't mean that in the bad sense of dumb, but It's like you're making things stupidly simple in something that you're doing. It's like you're creating a process. I feel like if you can do that, you can be a better leader, because you could just be like, follow the process, do this. Reminds me of when I worked at Starbucks, because it's like, it's like a lot of the decisions that they made, the corporate decisions at Starbucks, I hated, right? But at the same time, it's like looking back, Starbucks is a genius company, right? They make a lot of money, and Starbucks is very successful. And I think it's because they're very, very focused on their process. And it's like, I might not agree with their process, but again, I think the numbers speak for themselves, right? So it's like, I can not agree with something and still say, you know what, you got to hand it to them. They're freaking geniuses, right? Whether you agree or not. With the Three of Pentacles and the Star, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, walking away from things that no longer serve you. Again, I'm telling you right now, pretty simple. This is like your dream life, your wish is moving in this direction, walking away from things that no longer serve you, walking into a mystery with the Moon. Pretty much everybody has been getting something very similar to this, where it's like everything we want is on the other side of something we've never done before. I said this in 2021, at the beginning of 2021, and I'm probably going to say it until 2026 when Neptune leaves Pisces at the end of 2025, because like I said, I mean, really, Neptune and Pisces kind of rewards outside the box thinking. I would say the biggest problem with Neptune and Pisces is like the amount of times that we're gonna have to try. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say you're not going to that you're gonna be like the first business idea you try is gonna be successful, or the first love idea you try is gonna be successful. Probably not. It's probably gonna require multiple tries. You're kind of like taking shots in the dark. But for the people that do it, you'll be very, very successful. So I would do it. In your last row, you have this Lioness card. It says protect. I would definitely protect your ideas with this energy, but I feel like this is more talking about protecting yourself. I do get like a rebirth vibe on that card there as well. So there could be, it's like, I feel this like surge of energy. Let's see. And with the Nine of Swords and the Temperance card, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's been getting the Four of Cups. And not only that, the crazy thing is I think that you're like the third or fourth sign that has had the Four of Cups at the end of the reading. Four of Cups is saying he is manifesting things that he wants in his life, but it's like he's not seeing it. He's got his arms folded. He's got those three cups in front of him. It kind of says like he's manifested those three cups, and now he's manifested a fourth cup, but he's not paying attention. And it's kind of like saying that I feel like you are manifesting the things that you want. It might just not look like it. There's a lot of imagery here of like something being spilt over. We have the Five of Cups. You have this pail card. It's like a pail that's spilt over and something spilling out of it. Looks like water. You have the Eight of Cups here as well. You have the Star card. She's pouring water into the universal pool of consciousness, and she's pouring water out onto the land outside of her pool of consciousness. So there's like a lot of this like spilling out energy. Honestly, I have no clue where that's going. It's just interesting. I see it. And remember earlier, in your first reading, I was talking about how I feel like getting the flow going would be a really good idea. If you're stuck in financially, maybe it would be a good idea to create some financial flow. Again, I think like donating your time, helping other people, that's one good way of doing that. Sharing a piece of advice with people, that's a great way to do it as well. Doing something for other people is great. Even if you have $1, giving $1 away, great option, right? I even think like pretending like you have money if you don't, going to the store and just pretending like you have the money to buy everything and be like, I can afford that, just walking around doing stuff like that. You got to do something to get the energy going. Same thing in love as well. It's like for some of you, this could be love. I feel like there is a need to kind of like get the wheels turning here, but all in all, I feel like this is moving in a very good direction. So I like it. What did that card say? Oh yeah, creation. Yeah, creative energy is going to be very important for you as well. But pretty good reading. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.